hi. Hello.
Hello.
You have a story for us?
So, I'm going to let you choose.
Oh, gosh. I feel privileged.
I know. Do you want either a story that is about us that pops up every once in a while in my head and it just makes me laugh and it just came up recently in my office, like I told this story?
Okay.
Or do you want to hear about the new Roadhouse movie?
Oh, I'm going to be honest. I want to hear about us.
Okay. I didn't sell the Roadhouse one very well, and also, like, I should know my audience better. Like, do you want to hear a hilarious story about us? Or do you want to hear about Roadhouse?
I honestly don't even know that there was a new Roadhouse movie.
Yeah, okay.
Uh-huh.
So, so at my office, me and the doctor were working. We're just filling the dead air in between, doing a filling. And the patient was a friend of the doctor's. So the conversation was just very light and whatnot. And so the topic came up of baby names.
Okay.
So this comes up every once in a while in my brain that was like, oh yeah, this happened. So I got pregnant. And then during my pregnancy, you found out you were pregnant.
Yes.
And so I just remember, like everybody, you pick like a boy name and a girl name.
Uh-huh.
And so our girl name was Rachel.
Oh, yes.
And so I get it, but there was just a lot of emotions about the name.
Because Rachel is, Jesse and I's grandma.
Right.
And we had just lost her. She passed away while I was pregnant, 3 months pregnant. And Grandma and I were super duper close because I lived with her in nursing school. So I was very emotional. We had trouble getting pregnant.
Yes.
It was a long course, lots of emotions.
Totally. So it's like totally understandable. But I just remember when we were like, we're thinking about the name Rachel.
Yeah.
A lot of emotions came up and we ended up like not needing it. So it was like fine.
Did you know you were having a boy? I can't remember.
Like, did we find out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So then Rachel was kind of like, okay, we don't need it, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But it pops up into my head every once in a while that when we thought Penn was a girl.
Oh, yeah.
What was your girl name?
Well, her first name was going to be Cheyenne, and the middle name was Imogene. Now, I'll tell you that the reason that we did not choose Rachel, even though it was like a big deal initially with the first children, after having Jeremiah and all of that, one of my best friends now is named Rachel, and I think in that moment it was like, I think because Rachel is one of my best friends now, it would have been like a whole nother layer. So that's why we went with the middle name Imogene for a namesake to Grandma. But yeah, I'm sorry about that.
It's okay.
But then I ended up having a boy on April Fool's Day.
Funny. So right. No one ended up using any version of the name anyway. So like it worked out. But it's just every once in a while I'm like, oh yeah, and she wasn't even going to use it. And when it came up during the appointment, we were talking about baby names, and then I was saying like, oh yeah, our girl name was going to be like Rachel, and Dr. Belmont was like, from Friends?
I'm like, I am a diehard Friends fan.
Like, fair, but no, Jesse's grandma. And he was like, oh, and I go, well, actually. And so he was just giving me a hard time that I was like, it's not a big deal. But he was like, I mean, it sounds like. And I was like, it's not, because no one ended up using it or not using it.
Because we didn't have any girls in our family anyways. And, I mean, when we were pregnant with the boys, and like with the first round of boys, I mean, you were in Italy. Yeah. I had only met you like a handful. We were not that close then.
Yeah. We were friendly. We could get along, but it wasn't this.
No, it wasn't this where you could be like, listen, Amber, if you happen to have another child and it's a girl, you better name her Rachel.
Yeah.
Okay. That's so funny.
I know.
I'm glad we could clear the air with this now.
I know, yeah.
Okay.
So a little therapy session there. But it's just so funny. Very randomly it pops in my head and I'm like, she didn't. She wasn't even going to use it. But I don't even know if you guys were going to use her given name as a middle name. Like, to me that doesn't sound familiar. But yeah, so it's just funny that I was just like,
Okay. Well, I'm glad we're all cool now.
I know.
We're cool?
Now we're cool.
Okay.
I had a big...
I'm so
yeah,
glad.
it was big. Yeah, we weren't until this moment. So.
Okay. Phew, well, we can move on.
Yeah.
Well, maybe to make it up, I have something special for you.
I'm excited.
That I'm so excited to go through. So let's get into it, and I'll show you your surprise.
Yay!
Okay. This is Run in Her Shoes podcast with Amber
and Robin,
where we talk about balancing life, work, and running.
As busy moms juggling life, we want to provide a community where we encourage taking time for your mental and physical health on your running journey.
Join us weekly as we talk about our favorite races, gear, and goals as amateur runners, 1 mile at a time. So Mother's Day is coming up.
I'm so excited.
And I don't know what kind of Mother's Day presents you have gotten or get. Usually, I mean always, my boys do so good. I mean, they'll bring me, I get flowers and occasionally some jewelry. I'm a sucker for a good coffee cup. You know, all of those things are so nice.
Yeah.
But I found something that was Mother's Day related.
Cool.
And running related, okay?
Love it.
So there's this company, Fun Run Box.
Yes.
They have subscription boxes, and then you can also buy boxes just one time.
Oh, I love that.
The option.
Yeah, because I've looked at things like for the dogs.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want something monthly.
Dogs don't need a monthly subscription box. But maybe like a little treat every now and then.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so they have the option, which is so nice. And so one of their one-time box options was a Mother's Day box.
Fun.
So I thought it would be fun to see what's in the Mother's Day box because it's going to be around the corner.
Yes.
And then if anybody else is looking for an idea either to treat themselves or a fellow mama for a Mother's Day present, that this was a great option.
Yeah, if you like it, talk to your husband's phone.
Yes.
Mention Fun Run Box so it pops up
on the ads because it will happen.
Yes.
Yeah. I know. Quick side note, I have some allergies going on right now. It's just, it is what it is. And I was talking about Zyrtec and I was like, I think the boys have Zyrtec. I think there's children's Zyrtec that I can take so I don't have to go to the store tonight. And I kid you not, the next ad that I saw when I was scrolling was for children's Zyrtec.
Yeah.
Why would it deviate from my running algorithm?
You're like, I mentioned this once.
And there it is.
Yeah.
So it does listen. So yeah, mention Fun Run Box. So let's open it. I haven't opened it yet. And
are we going at the same time?
Yeah, let's go at the same time and then we can both be surprised.
Oh.
This is cute. Oh, yes. So in each box, no, I know it just looks like a piece of paper, but in each box, there's a weekly challenge on here. And then once you buy your box, they send you a link for their Facebook group. And then you can join their community if you want and participate in some of these different challenges to keep you motivated.
Oh, cool.
So there's a 4-week challenge in here for beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So you can kind of choose what challenge you want to do for runs for each week. Yeah. So that's a little
cool.
extra in there. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Oh, a magnet.
Oh, magnet.
Good for a magnet. What else you got in there?
Let's see. Maximum. Oh, a Typhoon Elite Kinesiology Therapeutic Tape.
Okay. So when I was working at the hospital, a lot of my friends are physical therapists, and I would be like, I don't know, oh, my back hurts or something. They'd be like, Amber, let me tape you up, whatever. So it's that cool stretchy tape that kind of takes it up. So I will have to learn how to use it on myself.
YouTube.
Yeah, we can figure that one out. But yeah, there's some kinesiology tape. Cool. Let's see what else. There's a power bar, Cola flavored, some energy chews.
Nice. I got some sunglasses.
Some sunnies. Oh, mine are blue. What color are yours?
Kind of like a gray.
Cute.
Yeah. Cute.
Always
polarized.
Always need a pair of good sunnies,
right?
right?
I know. Sunnies?
Sunnies.
Is that what you always call them, or are you watching Bluey?
Oh, I don't watch Bluey.
Okay.
I don't know.
They say sunnies.
Oh, okay.
They also say Dunny for the toilet. Jack went through a phase where it was the Dunny.
That's hilarious. No, not mine.
Let's see. It says Power bar, power gel. They call them shots. Gel-filled energy chews.
Oh, wow. So my flavor is cola.
Fun.
And you got raspberry. So some different flavors.
Yeah. And this is cool. Did you notice it has, so it's for like before or during your run. So it's not like a recovery chew.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then it looks like there's a during power gel, power bar.
Nice. I got strawberry banana.
Salty peanut.
Oh, interesting.
I know. I've never had that flavor before. Okay. And then got a t-shirt.
Fun.
I like this material. It's really breathable.
Yeah.
Like super lightweight, cute little v-neck.
Yeah. Oh, and cool. It says take the challenge on it. So like a little, I don't know. I like an excuse for someone to be like, oh, did you do a challenge?
Yeah.
Or,
You're like, yeah, let me tell you about it. Because did you
it.
know I am a runner? Have you heard?
Yeah. I never talk about it. An electrolyte drink mix.
From Element, right?
I don't know. Is that how you
I think
say
it is. Yeah, Element.
Element.
I think it's Element.
Okay.
Is how you say it.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's cool. Raspberry salt.
that's your theme. You're all raspberry things. Mine is citrus salt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then there's also I got a peanut butter dark chocolate bar. That looks delicious.
I got an oatmeal cranberry and almond.
Love it.
Yes.
And then here's a like handheld water bottle, which I might have goofed up a little bit on mine. I'm so happy I have this. So after we got back from the incline,
Yeah.
and I remember wasn't feeling good.
Yeah.
I put basically everything we had in our coat closet, and including my running vest, and our doors have like a little bit of an opening at the bottom, and there was a little bit poking through at the end. And the next morning I got up and my lovely dog pulled my vest out from under the door overnight. Everything with my vest was fine, but he chewed the lid to one of my bladders.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vest is fine.
Yeah.
Thank goodness, but he ruined one of the lids to my bladder.
Yeah.
So now I'll have one more.
I know.
I
feel like these are, like, you can't have too many of these.
I'm realizing that now.
Yeah.
And then last thing in here.
Yeah.
A super cooling towel. Nice.
Yeah.
Did you get it wet first? I don't know. I'll have to figure this out.
I know, because this will be nice because it's not super big.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be able to, like, put it in my car for our half.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. Hopefully it's warm when we run and not rainy. Either way, we can use a towel.
This was a lot of stuff.
That was a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah.
I think it was really reasonably priced for everything that was in there. The company, like, contact person was super nice, very responsive, like with emailing, asking about what size shirt you want, very responsive, very nice. So yeah, any mamas out there that are looking to get a box.
Because this is serious. I mean, the tape I'm going to have to learn how to use.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm going to use everything in here.
Yeah, it's super practical.
Yeah.
I love it.
Love it.
Well, happy
Thank
early
you.
Mother's Day. You're welcome. And thank you to Fun Run Box for our boxes.
Yeah, so cool.
Well, by the time this episode comes out, the Boston Marathon will have come to a finish for this year.
Okay.
So this year, it's on April 15th, Monday, April 15th, tax day.
Okay. Can I be an idiot for just a second?
Well, I don't think you're an idiot, but yeah, what's up?
And maybe you'll get into this. So if you want to tell me to, like, wait.
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like even as, like, a non-runner, you know and you're aware of, like, the Boston Marathon.
Yeah.
Why is it so well known compared to, like, there's other marathons?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I did a lot of history in this, like looking up why. It doesn't explicitly say that, but I think it's one of the oldest marathons in the country.
Gotcha.
It was just kind of like the first and foremost here. Because It's an old one.
Gotcha. It's an old one.
It's an old one.
All right. So tell me all about it.
Yeah. So, this year is going to be the 128th race of the Boston Marathon.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're talking 1800s is when it first came out, but it's certainly evolved since then. Mm-hmm. And every year it starts in Hopkinton, Massachusetts, and it ends in Copley Square. If I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry. I guess it could be Copley Square, but I think it might be Copley Square in downtown Boston. And this is the oldest annual marathon in the world. So that could be why it's such a big deal. And it says in the world.
I mean,
yeah. So it dates back to 1897, and every year it's ran on Patriots Day, which will change. It's like, it's not always going to be April 15th, but it's a Monday in April.
Oh, okay.
That changes, but they celebrate that day. It's a New England holiday because it's the anniversary of the Battle of Lexington and Concord.
Battle of Lexington
and
Concord.
I'm not a huge history buff and I don't know exactly what they're talking about, but I'm sure if you live out east, it's a big deal.
Right.
Patriots Day.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's kind of like the foundation of it.
Gotcha.
But this is what I thought was super interesting, is the first race, the first marathon, was
in 1897.
Oh, sorry, yes, in Boston. Like the first Boston Marathon.
Okay.
Was 24.5 miles. So it wasn't the 26.2. Okay. It had 15 runners. Okay. Of course, it was all men. We'll get into that in a minute because I get real heated. But in the modern Olympic Games, when running a marathon was like a new thing and coming to, the distance was based off of the distance between Marathon, Greece, the site of the Battle of Marathon. A lot of battles and running in marathons. Anyways, and then the distance between that and the Olympic Stadium. So that was 25 miles. You knew that?
I mean, no, I just feel like I feel like I've heard of or was aware of Marathon Greece.
Okay.
And these kind of distances. So it sounds familiar.
Yeah. Yes. So that's where they got like the 26.2 miles from initially. Someone's trying to get a hold of you.
I thought I put it on airplane.
What's really funny, at the start of this, you're like, I gotta put it on airplane mode.
Oh, it's my alarm. I have an 8 o'clock alarm. I did put it on airplane mode, but and I really thought it even asked me at 7:30, it says, do you want to turn this off? It always asks me at 7:30 if I want to turn off my 8 o'clock alarm. And I was like, no, but I figured on airplane mode it wouldn't bother me. Okay.
It's okay.
I like how we tried to go past it though. Okay, go ahead.
It's always so awkward when there's a cell phone going off like that and you're like, is it going to stop? It's all good. So anyways, 25 miles is the distance for the marathon. But then in the Olympics in 1908, the distance was officially changed to 26.2.
Sure.
And do you want to know why?
Yeah.
It's because of the royal family.
Okay.
We talk about the royals a lot.
Yeah.
But what happened is in 1908, the Olympics were held in London.
Okay.
Okay. And the royals wanted to see the start of the marathon at the Kensington Palace. Is that the name of it? Okay. So they wanted to see the beginning of it there at their palace. But then there's all these other people that are so excited to see the end of the marathon that have already bought like their box seats, their places to see the finish line. And if they change the starting point, the people that were at the finish line wouldn't be able to see the finish. Okay. So they're like, all right, royals, we'll start it at the Kensington Palace. We will still end it down here. But now everybody just has to run a little bit longer, and the distance is now 26.2 miles. And so from that point forward, the entire world accepted that a marathon is now 26.2 miles.
That's funny.
Isn't it? I had no idea.
First of all, I love how it changed all over the world. Instead of being like that marathon is 26.2.
Yeah.
Because of where it starts and ends. That's fine. Do your thing across the pond. Like, no, we have to copy you, which I mean, that's fine, but
yeah. So that's where the random 26.2 miles came from.
That's funny.
Okay. So, anyways, and it was the royals at that time. It was King Edward VII and Queen Alexandra. Okay. So they were the driving force behind that change. Yeah.
All right.
So, in 1924, I guess maybe the world took a while to come to that, because then it said in 1924 is when Boston officially adopted the new Royal Olympic standard.
Oh, okay.
And updated their distance for the race as well. But in all of these years, I mean, from 1897 to 1924, 1960s, all this time, women were not allowed to run in marathons because the other folk, I guess, decided that
people with penises,
that those are the ones.
Okay.
Those people.
Yeah.
Thought that women would not be able to finish. If they started, they would quit, or they would get injured, or brace yourself.
Yeah.
You could die.
Yeah.
So no, these women can't run. And I'm like, have you had a baby?
I was just gonna say, like, we can survive childbirth, but God forbid we move our legs at a quick pace.
Yeah. Like, you want to talk about a marathon. How about growing a baby for 9 months while still doing all the things and then pushing a child out of your body?
Yeah. Plus, I also think all the reasons up until that point, like, okay, you think I'm going to die, whatever. Yeah. But I love how, like, you won't even finish and you'll probably quit. What's it to you?
Yeah. Maybe you're going to quit too.
Yeah,
right?
You probably did.
So, like, that was their reason why women weren't allowed to run marathons.
Yeah.
But in 1966, it took this long. A wonderful woman named Roberta Gibb illicitly ran the entire race with her gender concealed. So when she entered, she just didn't really specify her name, gender, nothing. Like, she tried to hide that she had long hair, all of that. Ran the race. She wasn't an official participant. She wouldn't know that. I take this back. She wasn't an official participant because she started running shortly after the gun had been fired.
Oh, okay.
That's what hers was.
Okay. She jumped in to kind of sneak in.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep. So she finished the race. Did you hear that? Yeah, weird. A woman could finish a marathon? She didn't die. Yeah.
Wow.
But she finished the race in 3 hours and 21 minutes and placed 126th overall. And then the next year, a lady named Catherine Schweitzer ran as the race's first official female contestant. She's the one that signed her entry form KV Schweitzer. So she just kind of left it open. And she ended up finishing with a time of 4 hours and 20 minutes. And there's actually a picture of her. It's a pretty famous picture where bystanders, like, there's this guy in a suit is coming after her because he realizes it's a female running. A guy in a suit thinks he can chase after this woman who's trained for a marathon.
Yeah.
To pull her off the race. And actually there's other men around her in the picture that are kind of trying to block this guy out and, like, let her keep running.
Yeah.
Which was cool. But she ended up, again, finishing the race.
I totally imagine this guy being like, I'm saving your life. Get off the road. Like,
she's like, it's like,
I'm really fine, sir. It's fine. No, you're going to die.
Yeah. Or like a nippy little dog at your heels. Like, get away from me. I'm trying to run. Yeah. But since then, so many other female athletes have entered and finished the Boston Marathon. Kathy Schweitzer finished again in 1971 and 1972. And those times that she ran, she didn't really try and hide, that. Because in that picture, she's wearing sweats. And then in the 70s, her picture is so cute. I have it here and we'll post it on our Instagram stories too. But it's so cute. She has like these long leggings, this long sleeve shirt, and then kind of this V-neck dressy.
You know what the little over thing reminds me of? Is like what a ballerina would wear.
Oh yeah.
Over their tights, just the little skirts. It's very like flowy and sweet, and yeah, it's super cute.
Yeah, like I would run in that.
Yeah.
It looks really cute. So all of that to say, though, it wasn't officially until 1972 that women were allowed to run in the Boston Marathon.
So glad they allowed us.
Yeah. Took how many years to get there? But finally it did. So throughout the years, people from all over the world entered in hopes of setting records for the Boston Marathon. And it was becoming so popular that in 1970, there were qualifying standards that were introduced, and the entry form stated that, quote, a runner must submit the certification that he, which I thought was funny too, he has trained sufficiently to finish the course in less than 4 hours. So that was kind of like their qualifying time.
Yeah.
In 1975, Bob Hall became the first officially recognized participant to finish the course in a wheelchair. And he was allowed to compete if he could finish the course in under 3 hours. And he finished with a time of 2 hours and 58 minutes. And that was the start of the wheelchair division in the race. Okay. So then they opened up a whole nother wave time of participants in wheelchairs. And now we'll get into it, but there's prize money as well. It's a very competitive sport for any Olympians or marathon, whatever, that are in a wheelchair and want to compete. Oh, wow. Which is really cool. Then prize money started to be introduced in 1986, and the first male to win it, like when there was a prize introduced, he was from Australia, Robert de Castella, and he set a record at that time of 2 hours, 7 minutes, 51 seconds. He earned $30,000 for the win, $25,000 for the course record, and a new car. Holy moly. Which I should have looked up to see what kind of car it was. Yeah. 1980s.
Yeah.
And then Ingrid Christensen won her first Boston Marathon that same year, won the women's division, finished in 2 hours, 24 minutes, 55 seconds. She also won a new car and $35,000. Wow. So good prize money in the 80s.
Yeah.
Finishing.
I love though, like, sorry, not to interrupt you, but I love it's like, hey, we're going to have prize money and like you're going to get a new car. And people were like, okay, 2 hours and whatever it was, like, let's go.
Here I come.
Yeah.
But let's think about it. Like a brand new car in the 80s was, I'm sure, less than $35,000, right?
Yeah.
Today it would be like the car would cost more than the prize money you earned. So finishing times and records continued to be set as the race continued. Like there's just pages when you look it up of like, this person set this record this year and then it went on. Like it seemed like every single year new records were just being crushed by men, women from all over the world. And then I thought it was interesting, there were a few years where there was like extreme weather conditions. I mean, you think like in April it wouldn't be too crazy of weather, but in 2004 it was 86 degrees at the finish. And in 2012, it was almost 90 degrees, which caused a record number of heat-related illnesses. That would be miserable to run a marathon in 90-degree weather. Yeah. And then later in 2018, some of the worst weather conditions, like freezing cold, rain, wind. I was reading about this in Desiree Linden's book. So that was one of the books that I read during 75 Hard. I have it up here on my shelf, Choosing to Run. If you haven't read it, it's an amazing book. But she talks about competing that year. She actually won that year, like men, women, everybody. She took the whole thing in 2018. But it was one of the worst weather conditions. I remember reading the book thinking, dude, would they ever cancel this? Yeah. It was that bad. But she became the first woman in 33 years to win the open division. So check out that book if you haven't already. And then the only time that the marathon wasn't held at its normal date was shocking. I know, the pandemic. Yeah. They had to cancel it in 2020. They did a virtual option, but there wasn't any like prize money. People got medals, but that was it. Prize money today, though, first place for open division is $150,000.
Holy moly.
Mm-hmm. They pay out all the way down to 10th place. 10th place wins $5,500. And then they also have first through 10th place prizes for wheelchair division and masters division. So this coming year, they're going to be awarding a total of $1,137,500. Wow. So I'm sure all the entry fees go to that and then some. Whether or not you win money, you're still going to get a finisher's medal. And the finisher's medal for the Boston Marathon, it's a great tradition. There's an iconic golden unicorn on the medal. Did you know about that?
No.
I didn't necessarily know what it looked like either until I was doing some research on it. But this year, the race is sponsored by Bank of America.
Okay.
It kind of reminds me, I know you're not a football person, you don't keep up with the college, all of that, but all of the bowl games are now the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, or the Bank
the
of
sponsor.
the sponsored, and that's where this is going now. So it's still the golden unicorn on the medal, but this year it's got Bank of America at the bottom. Here, I have some pictures on here. So that's what it looks like this year, where Bank of America is at the bottom, and then normally it's just they don't have that bottom sponsor on it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that are like, ugh, I'm running the Boston Marathon this year.
Right.
It's not something that people, I'm sure, do every single year.
Right.
And then the medal they're getting this year, it's got a big old sponsor on it.
Yeah. Aww.
I mean, you still finished the Boston Marathon, which is amazing.
I know. Yeah, I love it. But obviously none of my medals compare to this. I'm not trying to be yeah. But it's just, if our cool, fun, I think my favorite looking one is our Challenge Northwest.
Yeah.
But if it had a huge Bank of America or whatever on it, I think it would take away from the spirit of what this is. And especially for the Boston being such an old race, there's something about keeping that pure.
Yeah.
That
I know it's patriotic because it's Bank of America. But
but it's there's so many spectators and the course is roped off. Don't they have advertisements all the way?
I'm sure they do. They have to, right?
So
they should have just etched it on the back.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. So that's the big news this year is the medals. But
okay.
I'll be following this year to see who wins all of that awesome prize money.
That's cool.
Yeah. I can't say that, we've talked about it before. I don't know if and when a marathon will ever be on my bucket list to say. Mm-hmm. But I think it would be really cool to watch the Boston Marathon, to be there in person, experience all of that energy and see it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So maybe we can take a girls trip out east one of these years.
Yeah, sounds good.
Go see it. Okay.
Yeah.
You brought up a challenge that I really didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
It got brought up at one of our earlier episodes a little bit because one of our first listeners was telling us about David Goggins.
Yeah.
His famous quote is, "Don't stop when you're tired, stop when you're done."
Yeah.
And that's kind of the extent about what I knew about him.
Yeah, same.
So you decided to go do some research.
Yes. I forget even how this came to my attention.
Okay.
I don't know if it came on my social media feed, if it was just kind of a headline or a story or whatever, and it caught my attention. But it's called the 4x4x48 challenge.
Okay.
And so, David Goggins, who was, tell me, was he Special Forces?
Right, wasn't he a Navy SEAL?
Yeah, so hardcore.
Yeah.
He's super into fitness. I don't know if he's still a Navy SEAL or whatnot, but he's motivational, fitness, just kind of an all-around intense guy.
Yes.
So he created this challenge, and the idea is in a 48-hour period, every 4 hours, you run 4 miles.
Wow.
And so that gets you 48 miles.
Yeah.
4 times 4, 48 miles. That doesn't make any sense. 4 times 4? What did I say?
Well, every 4 hours for 48 hours. So
I know, but I did 4 times 4. That equals 48. Oh my God. Okay.
We have mom brains. It's a thing.
So yeah.
I get what you're saying though. I follow you.
Okay, thank you. By the end you've logged 48 miles.
Right, which is getting into ultra marathon distances, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I read, all it took was one blog, really. I read
like,
this one.
I'm all in.
Yeah. Sir, you have sold me. It was it wasn't even like from a woman's perspective, I'm going to do this like around my kid's schedule. And I'm going to, I don't know, I live in the Midwest or whatever. Yeah. It was this young guy who did it while on vacation in like Thailand.
What?
And it was just like his story of doing this in like a foreign country, and then he had like some tips and tricks for it, and I was like, yeah, this sounds great.
So do you want to go to Thailand, or do you want to do this challenge, or both?
Maybe I don't even know. I'll be in the middle of this challenge and being like, what?
Why am I not on vacation in another country doing this? What? Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So what were some of the things he talked about? Like, it sounds exhausting.
Yes. So definitely really planning out, obviously, your block of time. Like, okay, so, this weekend or whatever it is, but really blocking out like, okay, so if I start at this time, then that means these are my following hours of my start times. And also really thinking about your start time and where that's going to put you for your end time.
Yeah, because if you started like in the evening, your first few runs would be through the night, but then as you got towards the end, you could still finish by like the end of the day. Yeah. And then sleep, as opposed to like starting in the morning. Right. Your end would be through the night, right?
Yeah, so it's kind of like, thinking like, do you want to end during the day or do you want to end, I almost feel like I'd want to end in the early evening. Yes. To be able to like sleep through the night and wake up a semi-normal being for my family.
Okay, if you talk me into this, that would be my start time too. Start in the evening to finish in the evening. Yeah. Yeah.
Also, really, and especially I think here for us is, I wouldn't want to do this during the winter.
Oh, heck no.
Obviously. No. And I don't want to do it midsummer, in the peak of summer.
When there's thunderstorms all the time too.
Right. Yeah. It's like I want this happy medium of like maybe not super nice weather, but not too hot, but still decent at night also. Right. So it's like maybe early fall, late summer.
Yeah, I want to do this extreme challenge, but I want to control as much as I can as possible.
Exactly.
So I can be successful.
Yes. And then I think in my perfect world, it would be nice if like the grandparents were here and maybe they could take the kids.
Oh, yeah.
Just taking out an element of like, because you have to think it's like, I think it's easy to think you have 4 hours in between a relatively short run. Yeah. But if it's going to take you, let's say like 45 minutes. Yeah. So now you're left with like a little over 3 hours to, so eat, refuel, I think would be like priority. So like refueling. Yeah. Depending on what time of day it is, because in my head I'm like, these middle of the night runs, I'm just gonna like get home, eat my banana or eat my like peanuts, and then I'm gonna go pass out. Yeah, I don't necessarily feel like I need to shower in between the night runs. No. As opposed to maybe in between these blocks. Yeah. Every so often take a shower. Right.
Relax your muscles, some hot water.
Yeah. So,
and not have to worry about like making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Exactly. Like
reading books for
I
story
only have
time.
3 hours to.
Yeah, it would be an extra layer of stress.
Yeah. Yeah. So just planning out family time, and then his suggestion was not trying to figure out your 4 miles on the fly. Okay. Like you don't want to be like stuck out somewhere realizing like
I gotta go more than 4 miles now.
Yeah, to get back or whatever.
So have a dedicated loop.
Yeah. So, and then he did it with friends, which I feel like
it would be so much more fun.
Yeah. And I feel like motivating too. Like, I know you've talked about how much you love your sleep.
I do.
And so the idea of kind of like waking up in the middle of the night to do these things, I think if you had people to motivate you, it would be so good.
And to hold you accountable. I mean, I would never lie to you, but like after 8 hours of sleep,
I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like halfway through mine. You're like, me too. Me too.
Amber, why is your voice so scratchy? Oh, just allergies again?
Yeah.
I wasn't sleeping.
Oh, yeah. Just run. Yeah.
If you want me to do this, we'll have to be sleeping close next to each other so you can wake me up. Let's be honest.
Yeah. But he started this whole thing in 2020, so it hasn't really been going on.
No, it's not that
like
old
relatively that long.
Yeah. And I think too, in the beginning, it was like, okay, we're doing it on this day. Like, everybody clear your schedule for these 48 hours. Mm-hmm. And then now it's like a known challenge, and right, you can complete it anytime you want.
Yeah, I mean, again, I read the one blog.
Oh, okay.
That didn't... But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think, like we've said, like a marathon for myself is really not in my radar. I feel like if like the half goes well and I'm still excited for it, I'm still pumped, I feel like that's going to be a good just realm for me to like hang out.
Totally.
And so I feel like something like this, that's at the end you're logging so many miles, but it feels broken up in these like relatively manageable things. Yeah,
it's nothing like the Barkley Marathon.
It's
like a very condensed version of that.
Yeah, but I feel like
it's still a huge accomplishment.
Right.
Who's running 48 miles in 48 hours?
Right.
All the time. Like, not us.
Exactly. So I feel like it's still something extreme to do that's going to give you this like amazing bragging rights. Yeah. That I'm all about.
Because there's probably no medal for this.
Yeah.
But we could probably figure out our own t-shirt or something
I was just thinking that.
Really?
Like, oh my gosh, like, well, duh, I have to have something that says, like...
that you did it?
Yeah. Ask me about my 4x4x48.
I know. Well, when I finished 75 hard, I felt the same way. I was like, well, I need something. I know, I'll get a tattoo. So maybe keep that in your wheelhouse
there we
also.
go. Yeah, I like it.
Like 4 times 4 equals 48.
Yeah.
People will be like, huh?
A math problem on you. That's awesome. Okay.
Oh, I love it. We're going to be like old people in nursing homes, and they're looking at our tattoos, and they're like, look at these people. They don't know how to do math.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, when you came here, you said that you have a surprise. Would you like to do that before or after Fast Facts?
We can do it now.
Okay.
So this is
excited.
Yes. Let me grab my notes here.
Okay.
So, we've gotten some really great messages from people who have, listened to our podcast.
Yeah, it always makes me smile.
I know. So first, I just want to thank everybody for the support and all that, and the little messages that are so great.
Yeah. And
people have said that they listen to us while they run.
I know. Which, can I say, for a second when I envisioned this, I was like, oh, well, of course we'll have the video thing. Mm-hmm. And I was just talking with John last night, and I was like, when I'm looking at, where our podcast is at, because we've been doing this for a few months now, the majority of everything is coming from audio. And he's like, well, Amber, they're probably listening while they're running. It's like, oh, duh. Okay, but that makes sense. Yeah, do this while you're running.
Yeah.
Listen.
So, for Christmas, my mom got me this desk calendar. Mm-hmm. So, you rip it off every day.
Okay, yeah.
And it's from that company, Gone for a Run, which has fun running things and stuff. And so I just pulled, I don't know why I do this, but I have these little hoarder tendencies.
Sorry, that made me laugh.
Where I'm not a full-blown hoarder. Don't call any agencies to my house.
Your house is clean.
But with the calendar, the ones that really speak to me, I have this pile going.
Yeah, we use some on our vision boards.
Yes. And so I grabbed a handful, and I just thought, if you're on a run, maybe you need some motivation right now.
Let's hear it.
I don't know what I'm going to call this segment, but this is Motivation Corner.
Okay. Motivational miles.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So something. So here we go.
Yeah.
Stay positive, work hard, and make it happen.
Yes.
Straight to the point.
Straight to the point.
Next one. Stand strong. Believe in yourself. Chase those dreams.
Yes. Go get those dreams, sister.
Yes. No matter how big or small. While you're busy doubting yourself, someone else is admiring your strength. That's from Kristen Butler. She said that.
I like what she said.
Yeah. I like this because it's so easy for me to go, I'm not doing anything special. Like I went on a run today. Who cares? But I go to work and there's a woman that I work with. Her name's Janelle. She's so great. And she's just like, oh, you're doing so awesome. And she's just so positive and great. And I just want to be, I mean, yeah, it's great. But so you just never know who you're inspiring or what you're doing. So, all right, next one. I'm chasing the best version of me and I'm catching up.
I'm catching up.
Yeah. Love it. Don't just dream about it, train for it.
Ah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's hard though.
I know.
It's a hard one.
I know. Yeah. But, you know, if you do have these dreams, you just take the first step. Go for it. Because that, I don't know who said it, and I'm going to butcher it, but you know, there's this quote that I like that's, could have isn't a goal. Or like, I wish I could have, or I wish I had isn't a goal. So you have goals, go for it.
Yep. And if you don't get it the first time, readjust.
Yeah.
And keep going.
Yeah. Do you ever go for a run and just feel, oh wait, start.
Rewind. Okay.
Do you ever go for a run and feel like you just got your whole life together?
I do.
Right?
So many times I'm sitting here and I'm like, I have so many stressors, feeling anxious, like in a total funk, and just kind of like grouchy almost. And then I go for my run and I come home and I'm happy and I have energy and it's all great. All I needed was a run to make me feel like I have my life together.
Yes. And then my last one for today, which is one of my favorites. It says, it does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop.
Love it.
Yes.
I know. Well, I mean, this episode obviously comes out later, but one of the things that I thought about today and made a little post about was, what if we thought about running like dancing? Like, nobody thinks that you're a bad dancer if you dance slow.
Right.
If you have a slow dance, maybe you just want a slow dance.
Slow dance.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't always need to be some like disco or
crazy break dance or whatever. Like,
yeah.
Maybe you're an interpretive dancer. I don't know.
For that day.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
One listener commented and said that her run style, though, was like the chicken dance, because you got to have fun while you're out there, too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It made me laugh. Those are good. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Next time you have a good buildup of those, bring them back in.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. A few fast facts.
Great.
Fast question facts.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a favorite room in your house?
I mean, yes, I suppose I do. I want to not say my office just because that's where I do work.
Yeah.
You know, so I think my kitchen.
Yeah.
You know,
And you do a lot of great cooking in your kitchen. I've never eaten anything of yours that I don't like.
Oh, thank you.
Especially your desserts.
Thank you. Yes, I do. Yeah. So yeah, I love to bake and do all the things. So yeah, I think my kitchen.
I like it. Yeah.
Thanks.
My favorite room is our bedroom in the morning. Like, the morning sun in our bedroom is so awesome. And I work from home, and right now the boys share a room, and then I have our office and everything like that. and we're always trying to figure out a way besides building an addition, you know, what could we do when the boys are ready for their own room?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I could work in our bedroom if that wouldn't be weird to like have a computer desk in there just because I love the light and the feel and everything in the room.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll figure it out one day. Okay. Do you have any injuries you've ever received in like a really stupid way?
Besides when I just fell like an old person in front of my house and broke my elbow?
I mean, I guess there was that, huh?
I mean, I don't think so.
No?
I mean, I can't really think of like a real big injury.
Well, that's lucky.
I mean, there was the time when we just moved here and like I slipped on ice and like legit broke my hand.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
That was the morning that Penn was born, or like the next morning, wasn't it? Because we were like both in the hospital at the same time.
Yeah. For two totally different reasons.
It's like on Friends when, what was it, Phoebe that has the babies?
Yeah.
And then Joey has his appendix out.
Yeah. So, I mean, those two just don't feel great because I hate having a hospital bill for a stupid reason.
Right. Like, really? Ugh. Ice?
Yeah.
Really?
And nothing. I just fell on nothing.
Not a cool injury.
Yeah.
Yeah. My most stupid injury was in bed, and it's not as cool as it sounds. It was like early morning, and
yeah, I forgot.
Okay. I had 2 of the dogs on our bed at that time. Both boys had come to sleep with us in the middle of the night. And you know, you're like trying to sleep, but you're not really asleep. And I'm smushed in the corner. And I just wanted a little bit of comforter over my shoulders. So I was like laying on my back and I grabbed the comforter and tried to just move my arm up and over.
Yeah. Kind of like a bicep curl into like a roll.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. With a comforter that I thought would be light and fluffy, but it ended up being really heavy with all of the kids and animals on it. And it was like an immediate pop of my shoulder. And I screamed and I woke everybody up. And they're like, what happened? I'm like, my arm. Yeah. And then it ended up that I tore my labrum inside my shoulder, had to have surgery for it. I did like 6 months of rehab. All of that. And so, you know how fun that is to like every doctor's appointment and like pre-op and all your physical therapy. Oh, what'd you do? Like, I wish I could have been like, oh, I was skiing.
Yeah.
No, I was sleeping and I tried to pull a blanket over me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was fun. Okay, well, I guess speaking of beds, can you fold a fitted sheet by yourself?
Yes.
Like,
I mean, I don't ever ask for assistance.
And it looks pretty?
I mean, is it up to Martha Stewart's standards? I don't know, but I use her instructions.
She has instructions?
Duh, it's Martha Stewart.
You're going to have to teach me.
Yeah. I mean, it's the fitted sheet, so it doesn't ever turn. I mean, I'm sure there's ways to get it like crisp.
Sure.
Corners and stuff, but no, it all stacks nicely, but it's just kind of, yeah, I mean, look it up. She has instructions. Okay. But you do fold the rounded edges kind of in on itself, so then you kind of make these fake corners. So
yeah, I mean, I start there and then I'm just kind of like whatever, and it just kind of gets rolled up and put in the drawer and it's fine.
But mostly I feel like lately I take the dirty sheets off and they go in the laundry and then the new sheets go on. Yeah. But then during the week I'm doing the other like I need my clothes now. I don't need those fitted sheets. So then it's like Sunday night or Monday morning I'm now doing the dirty sheets, and so really they're not spending much time up in a cupboard.
Oh, that's a great strategy. So, who needs folded sheets?
Yeah, there
Work
you go.
Smarter, not harder. Okay, I was just wondering. Do you have a favorite cereal?
I love cereal.
Do you really?
Yes.
Any time of day, you're down for a bowl?
Oh my gosh.
A bowl of cereal?
Yes.
What's your favorite kind?
Oh.
Don't even get you started.
Yeah. I mean, any kid cereal, right? I mean,
it's basically dessert in a bowl.
Right, exactly. So right now we have the Reese's peanut butter cup ones.
Yum.
Yeah, and then I do have a box of Cheerios, and Jack does like the Honey Nut Cheerios, but so I do like the Reese's. I like Apple Jacks. I do like Fruity Pebbles.
Captain Crunch.
I do love Captain Crunch, but
what? But what?
I don't know if I'm just like sensitive to it, but I think it's a thing because I had to look it up one time.
The roof of your mouth?
No, it made my poop green. Because of
the food coloring.
Dye. Yeah. So it's very specific to the blue and green dye. Yes. I Googled it one time because I was like, do
I need to go to the hospital?
Yeah, like why? And so it's like a thing with.
Yeah, I remember the boys went through a streak of always wanting Captain Crunch.
Yeah.
And then, they were still little, so I was helping them with the bathroom, and I thought the same thing, like, what is wrong? And they both had it. I realized it was just the cereal.
Yeah, so like Captain Crunch and Lucky Charms are the big culprits for that. Okay. So, and then there's just, I think because of that, I'm so hyper aware of the food coloring.
Yeah.
That we don't get those ones as often.
Right.
They're very special treats. Like first week of summer, when we're out of school, we usually get like a box. But it's...
Yeah, that's so funny.
Yeah.
I don't really eat cereal that much now, but when I was pregnant with both my boys, I wanted Cinnamon Life. I needed that.
Random.
I needed that in my life to make sure that I could survive. Like, I ate boxes of that every week.
Yeah.
So good.
I also, though, I do not like soggy cereal.
No?
No.
Oh, I'm okay with like Soggy Life cereal. That's what I wanted.
No, I hate soggy cereal. So it's like once I'm like it's like I'm not stopping for anything.
Nope.
Yeah. And it bothers me so much that when I make Jack cereal in the morning, right? So I go, hey, time to get up, time to get dressed. I'm getting your cereal ready.
So you better get up.
Yeah. But what it means is because, I used to pour the milk in and then he would take forever to get ready. Yeah. And in my mind, it's like, hurry up. Like every second your cereal is soaking up your milk. So now, like years ago, I started his fancy cereal. I called it his fancy cereal. So he gets the cereal in the bowl, the spoon, but he gets the milk in my fancy creamer cup. Yeah. So then when he's ready, he can come and like pour it in. And it's nothing that he's ever said like, I hate soggy cereal. Right. This is totally me projecting on my kid.
And he will continue to hate it. And then like think about when he's older and gets married and stuff, he's going to like have to have his little fancy cereal set up. His wife is going to be like, what is this? Yeah. Like, I just don't like soggy cereal. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's just a thing. I've always had.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's so funny. Okay, last question. If you could invent your own type of track and field event, like an Olympic type event, that like, it doesn't need to be like sporting related, like life related or something, what would it be? And like, who would win or like what type of person would win it?
Oh my God. I feel like I needed time to plan this.
Okay.
I have no idea. Okay, it's going to be you come up to a house floor plan and a car is backed up with a load of groceries.
Yes.
So you have to get like all the groceries out, maybe the least amount of trips. Mm-hmm. And then putting things away in like a very organized manner.
Like you'll get points deducted if the can is turned the wrong way or stacked the wrong way or something.
Maybe someone needs to come in and find something.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I need to be able to find, like it needs to make sense in the pantry where everything is.
Yeah, where's the cornbread?
Yeah.
I need to know where that is.
Yeah, or like whatever, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That would be a good Olympic event.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one I was thinking about that Okay, 2 of them. My current Olympic event is taking my children grocery shopping with me. Like, how fast can you get this done while your children are hanging on the cart? Maybe one wanders away. Like, you must keep the children close to you.
You finish and you're like, well, you only have one of your, like, designated children. Like,
fail.
Yeah.
Keep the children with you. Keep the children safe. Keep the children from, like, licking things. I mean, seriously. I've said that. Get your mouth off the cart. Yeah, I think, like, getting through any grocery store with your children.
I like it.
With, like, 50 plus items on your list.
Yeah, and maybe, like, a call from someone that's like, oh, can you also get this? So now you have, like, something not written down. Yes. Because that's my thing, too. It's like, even if I'm walking into the grocery store and I'm like, oh, yeah, I also wanted to get grapes. Even though I'm in the store and I'm, like, just about to grab grapes, I have to type in grapes. Yeah. Or else I'll leave and be like, oh, yeah, I forgot the thing that I really wanted.
It is. It's a mental marathon to go to the store with my children, which is why I mainly do Walmart delivery now. But nice. The other sport that I was thinking about that I thankfully don't have to do anymore, we're out of this phase, is, like, getting your kids in the car seat. Oh. Like, I just always felt so sweaty and worked up after that. It was just like, oh, it's such a workout.
Yeah. And I feel like any movie or show where they depict this, you know, where, like, this is played out, why is it such, like, a universal thing? You know what I mean?
It's hard or easy to get them in?
No, that it's, like, hard. Like,
it is.
This is a thing where your kid goes straight. Like, they've lost their waist all of a sudden. Yeah. And it's like, why and how and why are you so strong and why, like...
You, like, have the strength of Zeus.
Like, yeah, all of a sudden, like, I'm just gonna...
Yeah. I mean, some days I miss my babies being little, and then I think about those days, and I'm like, oh, thank God I can be like, buckle up, let's go.
I know. I think, like, just very recently... I've even stopped, like, opening his car door. Yeah. And, like, shut it. I can just get my purse or bag or whatever in the car, and I can go around, and he's getting himself buckled and closing the door, and it's like, this is so nice.
It's a whole new era of motherhood.
Now, also, is this universal? Let me ask you. Okay. Have you ever not slammed the door, but, like, shut the door on your kid mid-ridiculous story?
Like while they're talking?
Yeah, like, he is telling me.
I thought you meant like their fingers or something. No!
Oh my God.
I was like, what? This is not...
No. Yeah, like, how many times? No.
No.
Just like, he's in this ridiculous story about, like, Minecraft and the villagers and this and that. And I'm just like, slam, and then walk around, and either he's still talking or, like, he stopped talking, like, he got the idea, like.
No, I definitely do that too. I mean, it's like, okay, there's so many other people behind me, like, in the pickup line or whatever, we've got to go. Stop with your story, or it's cold, it's windy, just get in the car. Yes. Close the door, and then, yes, usually they're still talking by the time I open the door and I get what they're saying. Yeah. That's hilarious. Yeah.
For the record, I've never slammed my kids' fingers or foots in the door. Like,
Samesies. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I didn't think you had. I'm like, I hadn't heard about this. Huh. That's hilarious. Okay. Well, I have a great listener story for us from another fellow mama. Great. This one is from Lindsay in Iowa. Fun fact, she's a twin. Oh. She's married to a twin. Oh. They don't have twins. Okay.
Question. Yeah. Just because I noticed this when we do our listener story, and then you go, like, she's a mama or whatever, which I love, but, like, would you ever read a listener story from a dad?
Oh, I mean, sure. I just feel like our audience is tending to be.
But I get it. I think it's just something that popped in my head just now.
So far, I feel like most of our listeners are ladies. If there's a dad out there that's made it this far and you want to tell us your running story,
you have held on to these two ladies' crazy stories. Good for you, but also, let us know. But okay, go ahead.
Okay,
I just love how you specify.
Okay, yeah, I don't discriminate. Yeah. but let's hear from this mama.
Yeah.
Okay. She said she only ran track in junior high and freshman year of high school. She was a sprinter and did the hurdles. She didn't go out for track the rest of high school. She never felt like she was good enough to keep going in high school. And then about 15 years after her son was born, she purchased her first treadmill and just started slowly trying running. And the more she ran, the more she loved it. She did local 5Ks and 10Ks and was really never very familiar with other distances. And can I just say, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, if 5Ks and 10Ks are your thing, go for it.
Yeah.
I love running 5Ks and 10Ks.
I know.
So far, that's been wonderful.
Yeah.
But then she got divorced from not her twin husband. And right after her divorce, she ran her first ever half marathon. And she rocked it. Nice. She ran it in 1 hour, 38 minutes, 26 seconds. And then she really fell in love with running after that. And then 3 months, though, after her first half marathon, her dad had a massive heart attack and passed away suddenly. It's a lot to deal with. And she said it was completely earth-shattering, and she struggled for a long time after losing her dad. Running got her through so many hard days. And then she met her now husband 9 years ago and continued running, but just not quite as regularly. And then when trying for baby number 2, she completely quit running due to early bleeding complications, that sort of a thing. And then after having her daughter, she really wanted to get back into running again to find herself, which, hello, it speaks to all of us. She did a few more half marathons and just felt so powerful after finishing them, which I'm excited to feel that feeling so soon. So anyways, now she's trying to just be better every day, and she never wants to lose the joy of running, which I think is really important. Like, if you get so focused on like meeting your training goals every single day and running consumes you to the point that it's no longer enjoyable, like, you've got off track, in my opinion. Like, it's still got to be fun. The whole process has to be fun. She has not completed, or she's now completed 15 half marathons, and her most recent half marathon just a few weeks ago was a personal best for her at 1 hour, 42 minutes, 30 seconds after she had finished that first half marathon 11 years ago. Nice. So she's so thankful to be able to run and continuing learning about running and loving it. She said you can't beat the running community. It's truly amazing. So thanks, Lindsay, for sharing your story. I think it's really relatable. Yeah. It's really inspiring. And we love following her running journey on Instagram. Some of her reels and stories every day just really make me laugh. They're so good. So we'll share some of her running pictures and stuff on our Instagram stories as well. So be sure to check that out. And that wraps up this week's episode.
Nice. I had lots of fun.
Yeah, me too. So if you have a running story that you want to share, I guess whether you're a mom or a dad, it doesn't matter. Let us know. We'd love to hear it. You can email it to runinhershoes@runsister.com and keep sharing the love of our podcast and messaging us. We love to hear what you guys have to say. We love your feedback. So
cool. All right. We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Thanks for listening to Run in Her Shoes. Run in Her Shoes podcast is produced and edited by Amber Linza and Robin Ogden. It's time to run, sister.